Interplanetary is a pretty unique game that I have played this year. It isn't a completely revolutionary title, but it does differ itself from the rest. It's hard to define, but it is known as a planetary artillery game. You can start out with either single player or multiplayer, pick your opponents, pick the difficulty level, pick the planet, and start up the game. While it can be seen as a typical artillery game with planets, it puts a few spins on the formula, literally. There are 1,000,001 factors to consider when gauging your shot, ranging from the type of weapon you use and the distance to the strength of gravitational pulls of the planets, as well as the directions the planets move in. It takes a good amount of time to get familiar with how the game works and how to really get an accurate shot, but eventually you'll get in the hang of it and appreciate this new complexity. The game also combines elements from 4X strategy games by having you build up your planet before you can attack. This involves building up power plants, building mines for resources, and eventually building up the weapons to obliterate your foes. It is important to connect your buildings together, or you might have a few power outages in your planet, making the facilities useless unless you fix that. There is also a pretty expansive tech tree in the game that offers multiple paths to explore. You can focus more on building up resources and intelligence to uncover enemy buildings on planets, focus on having the best weapons possible, or balance it out to the best of your abilities. One minor complaint I have about some of the technologies is how you need to research certain prerequisites before getting what you want. This is okay in theory, but some of the preceding technologies take multiple turns to research without giving anything meaningful to the player. While it's not a huge flaw, the only way to win is through complete military domination. Even though that's pretty much the point of this game, it would have been cool to be able to form temporary alliances to help get rid of weaker planets quicker, or even have allied victories. It would have given the game a bit more depth, and honestly, a bit of more replay value as well. The AI ranges from passive babies to accurate marksmen that can shoot a fly off of a man's shoulder. However, the AI doesn't seem out to get you, and you can stay quiet if you build up your counterintelligence, preventing the enemies from seeing your buildings. But you better build up your intelligence as well, or else you'll be firing blind when attacking other planets. Unfortunately, this is not the best game as far as technicalities go. Graphics aside, the game is not the smoothest running since Usain Bolt. During the mid to late game, the computer AI would take extremely long on their turns, and the game would halt to a literal crawl. The frame rate drops from 60 to about 4, less than 10% of ideal. So by the time the turn was over, I made sure when it was my turn to play again, I made sure to get rid of those AI planets. For each game, there are a good amount of customization options available, ranging from the amount of resources available per planet to the power of gravitational pulls. These options change how you play each game and kind of reminds me of Sid Meier's Civilization, or one of my favorite games of all time, Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. And that's really all I have to say about this game. Sure, there are a few flaws, and it's not for everyone, but I definitely will give it a recommendation. It's a good small game that isn't too time consuming, progression is good, and none of the weapons are out to get you, like in Daikatana. I just wish the game had a bit more replay value, and probably a bit more content. Otherwise, the core gameplay is well done and provides a bit of innovation in some of the mechanics. As I have said numerous times, this is Pow3rh0use, signing off. Hello everyone, thanks for watching my videos. On the left is my review of Red Shirt, a fairly unique indie game with a sci-fi theme. On my right is the review of John Romero's Daikatana. So reviews in the coming weeks will be a little bit less frequent, but I'll come up with something special. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.